everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, January 21, 2024. I cannot believe that Lauren broke Nikki's confidence and told Jack about her relapse, and then Jack turned around and broke Lauren's confidence and told Diane. It is like these people cannot keep a secret or something. It is almost like secrets do not stay secret for long in Genoa City. These people are a bunch of gossips. I don't know what they think this is. A soap opera or something? It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, if this were reality, which it is not, but if it were, and if I was Nikki, I would be so upset with Lauren, no? I know that Lauren's heart was in the right place, and I love Lauren, and I love the support that Lauren is giving to Nikki right now, and I love all the dialogue between Lauren and Nikki, and Lauren and Jack, and Nikki and Jack, and it's not like Jack having this information is the absolute worst thing, but Lauren had no business going and spilling Nikki's personal business to him, her ex-husband. And Jack especially had no business going and spilling it to Diane. Because Lauren specifically said to Jack, I am telling you this in the strictest of confidence. I am only telling you this is only between us. And then Jack's talking to Diane about how he needs to help a friend. And Diane didn't even push him for the information about who the friend was. In fact, Diane said, no. Don't tell me who the friend is. You don't have to. I don't need to know. And Jack said, no. You must know. It's Nikki, your former enemy. Try not to smile at her misfortune. And Diane said, okay, I'm going to try not to smile, but as soon as I leave this house, she went in her car. The second she hit the car, there was a smile on her face. But all of that being said, okay, I appreciated Jack telling his story of painkiller addiction to Diane, because this is something she had no idea about her husband. And I appreciated Jack telling Nikki that the reason he so badly wanted to help her was partially because she developed the alcoholism during their marriage, and Jack has always regretted, felt guilty about the fact that he didn't handle it better. And I do remember from the COVID flashbacks, I wasn't watching at the time when Nikki developed her alcoholism, but I remember from the COVID flashbacks, specifically Nikki being drunk at, I want to say, Tracy's wedding to Brad, and she was very sloppy about it, and Jack was very cruel about it with her. But then again, we saw those flashbacks a couple of weeks ago where Victor was very cruel with Nikki about it too. He was smashing those vodka bottles and berating her, and she was crying, and yeah. Nikki's alcoholism is a real part of her history. As are her husbands and ex-husbands. Nikki knows that Victor is not going to be happy and accepting of Jack his former enemy, I mean, I guess we could say former, they don't go at it too much these days. Still, it's Jack Abbott. Victor's not going to be happy with Jack Abbott being someone who Nikki is confiding in, becoming Nikki's new sponsor. Because Nikki's old sponsor, we found out this week, is also in the middle of a relapse. I have to say, I felt kind of bad with the way that Nikki dropped that little weasel like he was a hot potato or something. I felt bad for him, but I understand, because Nikki's fighting for her life, in essence. It's every man and woman for themselves when it comes to managing the alcoholism and hanging around with someone, confiding in someone who is also tempted to drink, really only doubles the temptation and has the potential of turning what's supposed to be a supportive relationship into them becoming drinking buddies or something, and both of them being off at the same time. So yeah, got to get rid of Seth. But I feel like he's not gone. I feel like we haven't seen the last of Seth. What are you guys thinking about Seth? I called him a little weasel because he seems shifty to me. And not just regular shifty. He seems shifty to me. Not just jonesing for a drink. He seems up to something to me. I don't know what it is, but something about him tells me he's trouble. But that's not going to stop me from imagining who in Genoa City I could hook him up with. Which single lady in Genoa City could we hook Seth up with? And why do I keep thinking that he could maybe use some counseling / love-in from our resident therapist, Sharon? Cassidy First Technology, where our mission is to give away all the profits. Okay. Really though, Sharon? Half the profits are going to go to charities? I mean, that's a nice idea, don't get me wrong, but let's try to remember that when Sharon's company goes into some nasty battle with one of the other companies in town. Let's just try to remember, when they're all in the mud, that half of the profits of Sharon's company go to charity. All of them, by the way, all of the charities that we know about. New Hope, the Abbott Winters Foundation, Delia's Foundation, and of course the Underage Alcohol Abuse Foundation. It's great. It's great. Cassidy First. It's a great way to kind of kick the dirt on Cameron Kirsten's grave, and turn the company and the mission of the company and the experience that Sharon had with Cameron into something positive, and something personal for Sharon, something that can be an actual motivating force for her, because Sharon is not a cutthroat business mogul. Sharon does not care about profits. Sharon cares about people, and I think Sharon wants to work with the goal of helping people in mind, and who knows, maybe Sharon can do something good for our world. And of course it makes sense that Mariah would be working there too. She could also be doing something in her twin sister's honor. And then there's Nick. Sharon made sure to give him a gushing, glowing thank you in her speech. The speech was great. I was dying to know what was going to be under that big plush red velvet cloth that was sitting on the easel, and I was sort of hoping that maybe, just maybe, it might be a gilded portrait of Sharon. But the logo and the reveal of the business name was very nice too. It was good. It was good to see everybody gathered together in their party attire. One person was missing from the event though. Chance, while Sharon's party's going on, Chance was at Crimson Lights wearing his own party attire. I mean, that gorgeous bronze velvet jacket. We have seen a lot of velvet jackets in the last couple of years, but that bronze color next to his hair, oh, he looked so good. And I know that Summer would really have loved to just reveal that jacket right off of him. Like at the moment Sharon was pulling off the velvet from the portrait, I think Summer was thinking about pulling off the bronze jacket from Chance's body. Yeah, he finally got around to telling Summer this week that he and Sharon broke up. But I think it's interesting that Chance hasn't really got around yet to acknowledging or showing any signs of processing the fact that Sharon told Chance that Summer wants him. He hasn't really shown us that he's taken that to heart. He kind of has just glossed over it, and either he likes it and he's fine with it and he's like, yeah, I guess I deep down had feelings for her too, or he's just not, it's not clicking with him. I don't know. He just seems to at this point be going along with the flow, just kind of enjoying the ride, just waiting for the day that he becomes Harrison's de facto dad, kind of like he is with Dom. That's Chance's personality, I guess. Go with the flow. But maybe now that Kyle is done with Audra and Audra's done with Kyle, maybe Kyle will change his mind and decide to throw his hair gel into the ring and compete for Summer's heart, and we could get a Summer, Kyle, Chance triangle. Because, I mean, what else is Kyle gonna do now? He has given up the cause to become Jack's co-CEO. I mean, that is a complete change of heart, too. How often does someone say, you know what? No, I don't think I want that promotion. No, I think I need more time to earn my stripes. I think I need more time to get a little bit more humility, to learn some humility. I don't think anyone in the history of ever, especially not on this show, has done that. And they especially have not said, Mom, why don't you instead go ahead and take that promotion? Okay. And it turns out that that's what Jack was thinking anyway, it's wonderful, but it also astounds me because it's like, oh, you think Kyle doesn't have enough experience? Well, why not pick someone with even less experience? Now, I think it's a great idea, primarily because it's really gonna set Ashley over the edge, and I am really going to enjoy watching that. I mean, you think Ashley is losing it now? Just wait until she finds out that Diane and Jack are running her father's company together. Is Tucker gaslighting Ashley? I don't know. But he really knew how to cut straight to the bone with that psychoanalysis that he was given to Ashley on Friday. He said he thinks that she has intimacy issues, and when things get real, when her feelings get real, because things between them were real, she runs away. And that's what they had. What they had was real, and she wanted to run away with it. That's his assessment of their relationship, that she simply got scared and then ran right back into the arms of her family. Which is not exactly how I saw it. Because if that's how it was, I think Ashley probably would have run away from him before they got married. I think she probably would not have gone through with the wedding. She wouldn't have married him and then, immediately after decided to freak out. I don't know. I think that if anyone had the correct psychoanalysis this week, it was Audra. Because Audra told Tucker that he doesn't really even want Ashley. That Ashley simply represents his ideal. And I think that really hit the nail on the head. I mean, Ashley is Tucker's mental image of the ideal woman, and so he feels compelled to chase her, even if she's not exactly the right woman for him. That's what I think too, Audra. And, I mean, I don't know, I think it seems like Audra might be the right woman for him. I'm convinced. Are you? But Audra has told Tucker that she is done with him. She does not want to work with him anymore, and she is certainly not going to be sleeping with him anymore. I mean, the fact that he is always off chasing another woman is a real turn-off to her. I get it. I think what we really need right now is the wisdom of one Ms. Tracy Abbott. We need the wisdom of Tracy to get to the bottom of this whole mess. Yes, Tracy, just help us peel away the outer layers of the Tucker-Ashley flashback discrepancy and help us get to the nitty-gritty, ooey-gooey center of truth. Do you guys remember how last year Phyllis was so desperate and needy and clingy? Well, yeah, she still is all of those things, but now she's got a matching bra and panty set to go with it. I'm dying. I am dying, I am dying, I am dying, I am dead. That Phyllis has got some nerve. The nerve of her to walk in to Genoa City's most prestigious establishment wearing a trench coat with nothing but lingerie underneath. It kills me. And that she would reveal the bra at the dinner table. It just puts me 6 feet under. Just digs my grave and puts me down in the ground. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Michelle Stafford, you look phenomenal. That body is in good shape, girl. real good shape. But Phyllis, Phyllis, you have no shame. None. And that is one of the things that I love to hate about you and that I hate to love. She absolutely refused to take no for an answer. Even after all was said and done, and Danny told her to stay away from him, that they were done, that she has just ruined his only chance of happiness. And Phyllis was like, whatevs. Mission accomplished. I did what I came here to do. I think that Phyllis does not care whether or not she actually wins Danny. I think that Phyllis just wants to beat Christine. And Danny, dumb Danny, took the bait. He took the bait all too hungrily. And it was the perfect setup, too. Phyllis calls him out for drinks, and she insists that he go to the piano and play her that new song that he kind of wrote for her, but also that he kind of wrote for Christine. And then Phyllis posts a video of him playing it at the piano in the jazz club with the photo caption that says something like, you know, that moment when your ex plays a love song for you, and she's all smiling in the foreground. Well, Phyllis knew that Christine was going to see that because, of course, Christine follows Phyllis on Instagram. Duh! Duh! And Phyllis knew that Christine was going to run right over there to see what was going on between them. And sure enough, Christine got an eyeful. After Danny got the eyeful of Phyllis's breasts, I mean, dang, right there in the jazz club breasts. And they were particularly buxom breasts that night. You could tell Danny was having a real hard time focusing on the conversation. Dang. Phyllis knows what men want. She said, you know what men like? Boobs. And sure enough, Danny could not resist those boobs. Phyllis got him all riled up, revealing her chest. And then she started kissing on him. And you know what? Mr. Danny Romalotti was kissing back. No doubt about it. He was kissing back. He was into it. And Christine saw it. And I mean, she really saw it too. She didn't just see the physical act of them kissing. Christine saw that for some reason, Danny actually wanted it. I can guess what that reason is. I think we all can. But I mean, Danny's not totally dumb. He's not just naive, as he tried to argue to Christine later when she confronted him about it. No, I mean, Danny was a willing and wanting participant in the whole thing. And the thing that Christine realized is that if Danny could be wooed by Phyllis tonight, then that means that Danny could be wooed by Phyllis tomorrow. And so Christine rightly said, no, Danny, we are done. You figure out what you want. And honestly, if I were her, I think I would just be done with him, period. That would be it for me. There would be no figure out what your feelings are and let me know. It would just be over. There's no coming back from that. I mean, you either have the willpower or you don't. But, I mean, we know that's not going to be it. We know that's not going to be over. And I'm sure that lovely, beautiful Nina is going to end up, like, getting involved here. You know Nina is going to step in. She is probably going to try to patch things up between them. She's probably going to confront Phyllis, too. If Nina confronts Phyllis, that's going to be super juicy. Oh, I have to ask you guys a question. Okay, so Nina's in town. I'm looking at her. She looks so good. Her hair is looking so long and so shiny and so luxurious. And I need someone to tell me if it's hair extensions. You guys know that I have no hair dar. I cannot tell if someone is wearing a wig or a hairpiece or a toupee. I don't have it. I'm easily fooled. I am like Danny going, okay, that must be your hair. It doesn't factor for me. I don't know why. So can someone please just tell me if that's her natural hair? And if there's any chance that it is her natural hair, can someone please tell me how she does it, because it is beautiful. I think Nina is beautiful, and she's fierce, and I love her spunk. She is spunky like nobody else on the show is spunky, and I want more of it. It's like, okay, we are in season 51 of Y&R, and I think Y&R truly knows that what we want is returning characters. We want our classic characters, and they're giving it to us. Thank you. The Phyllis, Danny, Christine triangle with this Nina infusion now. It's so good. And I love that father and son are kind of going through a similar situation here, caught between two women. Daniel this week is also caught in a sticky situation. Heather told Daniel that, just to be clear, just in case there is any confusion, she is feeling ooey and gooey about him, and it is not just the peanut butter and banana sandwiches. I don't need any of this damn drama. Nobody could say that except Victor Newman. I mean, Victor, you've had so much damn drama. Of course you need it. You would have no life. You would not know what to do, Victor, if you didn't have this damn drama. I think everybody guessed it. It had to have been because it's a damn quote. That's such a Victor thing. Everything is damn with him. I mean, it's in the title of his book. I'll be damned. Victor is damn. But it was such a great line, a great moment, and congratulations to everybody who guessed it. Susan, Francie, Victoria, Daisy, Justin, Tanya, Kayla Rose, Brittany, Henry, Dolores, Tony, David D, Ron, Brent, Sharon W, Jamie, and Kamna. That was a lot. Okay, so I have a good quote this week, and I knew as soon as I heard it, I was like, I don't need to hear anything else. This is the one. Who said it? I know you're a good liar, but you're not that good. It's a good one. Who said it? I know you're a good liar, but you're not that good. If you think you know, you can go to yrchat.com to leave your guess and if you get it right, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. Alrighty-o. Let's read some comments. Starting with Sue W., who says, I'm totally mesmerized by Haley Aaron, who plays Claire. She perfectly rounds out a now powerhouse trio with Melody Thomas Scott and Amelia Heinle. Those three amazing actresses are powering the whole Baby Eve story. Claire Grace is my new favorite character to watch. I don't know about the nonsense in the story due to the very talented Haley E's heartbreaking portrayal. I hope she sticks around. Okay, I'm so glad you said this, Sue W., because I love Haley Aaron. I think she's great. I mean, I really like the actress a lot. But this story is sagging for me. I'm finding myself getting just a little bit lost. I don't have a ton to say about it this week. We're doing a lot of Claire talking about her feelings and, you know, peeling apart her childhood and thinking about the future and what will it be like to be part of a family. And it's all very good dialogue, and it's all, as you say, very well acted by, Victoria and Claire. Those are some very emotionally powerful scenes. But boy, I missed the plot. I was happy to see that Jordan will be in the previews she was in the previews for next week, and hopefully she's going to continue to inject a little bit of trouble in there, because that's what I need. I need a little bit of trouble here. We've been sitting around for weeks with Claire talking about her feelings, and I love feelings. I absolutely love feelings, but I just want something to happen. I did also like Victor calling Cole out to the ranch, as if Cole and Victoria were to get back together, it would be the worst thing in the world. He told Nikki, he's like, I don't know, Victoria has questionable judgment with men. Cole is like the safest guy that she could pick. I mean, Cole would be a great choice. If Victoria got involved with Cole again, it would be the best decision she ever made, because he's completely stable. I mean, Cole's no Ashlyn Locke. Cole's no Billy Abbott. Cole's Cole. You know, I mean, he's Cole. And I really want to see him come together with Nina that next week. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's talk about Nikki, because this storyline is big for me. I don't know what it is. I normally don't like Nikki drinking storylines, but for some reason this time around, it's a total hit for me. And with Jack being inserted now into Nikki's drinking, of course, I think we're all asking ourselves, wait a minute. In 2024, are we getting ready to head into a Nikki, Jack, Victor love triangle here? Gary says, for the life of me, I don't see Jack and Nikki in each other's arms, leaving Diane and Victor in the dust. You're probably right. But it's hard not to want to predict that and wonder where this is going to go, especially when Nikki has told us that she knows Victor's not going to approve. I mean, that almost seems like a recipe for romance. Gary also says, Victor and Lauren Fenmore need to mind their own business and let Nikki and AA address the issue of the appropriate sponsor for her, not Jack Abbott. Yeah, you know, I kind of agree. Of course, it wouldn't be very interesting, and we need this drama, and we need these other characters getting up into it, but if it was reality... And if it was reality, Henry says, what a lame move that was in this storyline. As I mentioned last week, it's not a requirement, but AA highly suggests that males should have male sponsors and females should have female sponsors. That's not to say your sponsor can't slip no matter what the gender, but I wish Y&R would abandon that storyline because there's so much misinformation. I'm sure if they had consulted with someone in recovery, the storyline would not have so many obvious holes. Yeah, Henry, and you know, the other thing that I'm noticing and wondering is, well, wouldn't Nikki benefit more from having a sponsor who's actually in AA? I mean, Jack was addicted to prescription painkillers. So if he is in a support group, then wouldn't it be like NA? Wouldn't it be like Narcotics Anonymous? And also, Jack still drinks. Jack drinks all the time. If one of the things about having an AA sponsor is you don't want them to drink, then why Jack? It doesn't make much sense, except if Y&R is maybe planning a little love triangle there. I don't know. Oh, here's a good note from Steven, who says, just a note to the writers at Y&R. Sponsors are not assigned by AA, and you don't have to phone. You don't phone to have a new one assigned. A sponsor is usually a more experienced addict who the sponsor asks to act as the sponsor. If there's a good connection between the two, the sponsor agrees to take on the sponsee. Maybe sometime in the future when Nikki is back in recovery, perhaps it would be nice if someone asked Nikki to sponsor a young lady. Yeah, I mean, that's really good to get some clarity around how exactly that program works. And I don't think it's about your friends jumping on and saying, hey, this person cares about you, let's let them be your sponsor. I would almost think, and I don't know, but I would almost think it would be better to have someone who's not an immediate friend or family. It would almost be better to have someone on the outside of your life who you could, I don't know, you might be a little more comfortable talking with, because Nikki's not going to be able to totally open up with Jack about everything. He's not a neutral party. He's intimately interwoven into her life. I don't know. But I love your idea that Nikki could, in the future, become someone else's sponsor as a result of this. I kind of wonder, though, if what Y&R is going to do is instead sort of manifest that idea with Nikki's relationship to Claire. Like, okay, Nikki's back on track and she's going to want to pay it forward to someone else, and it might end up being Claire. That might end up being an important step in Nikki's own recovery, and certainly an important step in Claire's too. So I'm almost thinking there's going to be a bond there eventually. Victoria says, Lauren's conversation with Nikki about involving Jack was so well done. Lauren's lines were strong and caring. She called Nikki out for rationalizing her concerns about Jack and Victor instead of making her recovery first priority. Worrying about Victor's reaction is probably a surefire way to have a slip up over the guilt. Yeah, that's a really good point too. Well, Kamna says, do we think that Seth has been in love with Nikki all these years? He kind of acts nervous and earnest around her. I'm not sure he's part of the Jordan storyline. That seems too easy. Yeah, Kamna, that did occur to me too, that there was almost a bashfulness about him around her. And, I mean, we know he was acting kind of squirrely, but I do wonder if part of it, like in the way he didn't want to leave, he almost seemed clingy onto her, desperately not wanting that relationship to end. And yeah, we could definitely interpret it as villainry, or we could interpret it as something more benign. That is what I want our poll question to be this week, in fact. Do you guys think that Seth is a future villain? Because a lot of people are definitely predicting he's working with Jordan. That was my initial impression. Or just in general, is he working some kind of villainous agenda, or is he just a normal weird guy? Is he just one of the normal weird guys? Go to yrchat.com if you want to cast your vote. It was weird the way he was looking around in her desk as if she wasn't going to notice some of her own alcohol missing. Jamie says, ew, Seth gave me total willies when his creepy self snuck into Nikki's office. That man is serving seriously dangerous vibes. I love that Nikki picked up on his unhealthy energy and cut ties with him. I actually really like the idea of Jack being her new sponsor. The storyline gives him and longtime fans a chance to see Jack make amends for his missteps with her addiction origin story back in the early 90s. P.S. My girl Phyllis devoured Danny like a helpless little snack at the jazz lounge. She's absolutely gorgeous and a total vixen, and she knows it. Jamie, I can always count on you for some Phyllis love. I mean, it is so hard for any other story to compete with what happened this week with Phyllis. Sharon W. says it was the best. When Phyllis started talking softly and sultry toward Danny about how she felt the passion between them about how he felt the passion between them just as much as she did. And he said, well, there were some bad times in the past, and she shut him down saying, there were no bad times. Not gonna lie. I backed that up and watched it again, and she did. I mean, to say the sentence, there were no bad times, I mean, it was just like she was rewriting the script. It was mind-boggling. It was revisionist history there. There were no bad times, really? Gosh, I mean, it was like she was working some kind of brainwashing on him, and it was working. Tina B says, I know everyone is anticipating the reunion of Danny and Cricket, but this is the Phyllis I love to see, and I want more of it. Planting seeds in Danny's head, cunning, manipulating, sultry, and provocative. Nothing like watching Phyllis go after something or someone that she wants. It's just, I'm so impressed with Michelle Stafford. It was a lot of fun this week. Could not, when this story was originally happening, I could not stand Phyllis. It was the worst. I would fast forward her scenes. I hated it. I hated how over the top she was. It was so ridiculous. And for some reason, maybe I've just gotten to know Phyllis better over the years, and for some reason it sits better with me now. I see it as entertainment. I accept it as entertainment. And even though I'm rooting for the Danny and Christine reunion too, I can't take my eyes off the train wreck that's happening between them. Ellen says, Phyllis will lose interest in Danny so fast once Christine is out of the picture. It's just an immature junior high game for Phyllis. So pathetic. You know, ain't that the truth? I don't think Phyllis is going to give two hoots about Danny as soon as Christine dumps him. Phyllis does not want Danny. I mean, I think Phyllis wants Danny in the way that she wants to win. She wants to get what she wants. But does Phyllis think that she and Danny have a shot at a long-term future? Does Phyllis imagine herself with Danny 10 years from now growing old together? No way. She just wants him because she wants him. She wants him in the way that, I don't know, you want something that you see online, that, you know, you're shopping online and you see that thing that you want and you want it really badly and it's kind of expensive and you don't want to splurge on it, and you don't think about it for a while, but then you come back and you're like, no, I really want it, all right, fine, Mom, get it. And then as soon as you get it, it's like, 2 weeks later you're moved on to the next thing. That thing that you wanted was so big in your mind, and and then as soon as you get it, like 2 weeks later, you're on to the next thing. That's how desire works. Robin says, really? Danny has no self-control when a woman pops out a boob in a restaurant. Christine should dance with the chance. Danny's facial expressions are half funny and half creepy. The way he acts like he has never seen a woman before. Yeah, the looks in his eyes were, it was almost like you could hear the dialogue in his mind going, don't look at her boobs, don't look at her boobs, don't look, is that a boob? And then his eyes would go out, and then back to her eyes. Stay with the eyes, not the boobs, not the boobs. So predictable. Naomi says, Heather has a totally different style than Lily, and both women are knockouts. How can Daniel resist Heather much longer? Yeah, and next week, Daniel is telling Heather that he's not really even sure if he sees a future with him and Lily anymore. I mean, Lily went out of town, and Heather just right in there, man. Just right in there. So wrong. So right. Sharon W. says, I'm really glad Heather told Daniel up front that she's falling back into love with him. I have loved Daniel with Lily, and I know they were married when they were young, but I'd much rather have Y&R bring back Kane for Lily. I really love Heather's feelings for Daniel, and also love Lucy with both of her parents. I know, I'm feeling the Heather and Daniel vibe more than I thought I was going to. But Sharad says, I hope that Crystal Khalil gets her wish of her character Lily Winters being gay, because it seems that no man she gets with is faithful to her. Daniel and Danny are two disappointments, like father, like son. Ooh, you know what? That would be kind of interesting to see Lily maybe involved in a triangle with Mariah and Tessa. That would definitely be a good way to kick off 2024. But yeah, I mean, is Daniel being unfaithful? Is Daniel being unfaithful to Lily right now? That's a question. I mean, yeah, I guess, right? Because it's like emotionally unfaithful. Maybe you could weigh in on that this week. All right, let's keep going. Ashley, let's talk about her. Because Ellen says, am I the only one who thinks Tucker's telling the truth about the incident in Paris? Ashley has never had a relationship with a man that's lasted. I can believe that she panicked and was subconsciously looking for an excuse to bail out on Tucker. She may have had doubts. After all, she did marry Tucker, of all people, and his minor hissy fit provided the perfect scenario for her to blow it up in a violent incident in her mind. She has had breaks with reality in the past. This could be a very soapy story if they let Ashley dress in filmy gowns and wander the streets of Genoa Junction like a Victorian heiress searching for her cat or something. That's spooky, Ellen. I kind of like it. But you make a great point that it is certainly possible that Ashley was looking for a reason to blow it up, and Tucker's hissy fit was it. Gave her the perfect way to do it. Victoria says, call me delusional, but shouldn't Jack be assisting Ashley in getting some professional help? For drama's sake, Ashley could still be falling apart, even though she's seeing a therapist. It's so obvious that she's losing it. Since it's being played realistically instead of over the top like Aunt Jordan, the family would be very concerned. Yeah, and Jack is very concerned about helping Nikki when he should be very concerned about helping his sister. But I did like it when Jack said to Ashley, hey, you have separated yourself from Tucker physically. Why can't you let him go emotionally? And that's a great point. If once you've made the physical break, I mean, what's holding you back? And as soon as he said that, she said, oh, you're right. I know what I need to go do. I need to go see him again. It was all a total excuse to go see him again. No, if you're done with him physically, if the marriage is over, then you just need to be done. But I guess, emotions don't work that way. Sometimes our minds just want to latch on to something. And in some ways, maybe she's just afraid to let it all go because she doesn't know what to do with herself next. I don't know. Naomi says Ashley is so fragile and desperate to get Tucker to confess to mistreating her. I'm worried that she isn't strong enough to withstand all of this. If she was emotionally stable, she would move on from this one brief moment in her life. Yet, she's more and more fixated on getting an apology and a confession from Tucker that he was violent. I don't mean to make light of Ashley's version, but safe bet a victim of domestic violence would trade Ashley's trauma for her own. Oh, yeah. I mean, she's fixated on getting him to admit it. She's doubting herself. She's really done a number on herself, in herself. Diana says, I think we'll be seeing Ashley and Tracy flying out to Paris to find the truth about what really happened in the cafe. I believe this was foreshadowed when we heard Tucker say that there were witnesses at the restaurant, and we saw the flashback of the waiter watching the argument. I think Tucker has already paid off the waiter to say what he wants him to say. Tucker's version of the story will end up making him look like the good guy in all of this, not only to Ashley, but to Devon and Abby, too. Yeah, Diana, that's brilliant. Yeah, that maybe they're going to go back to the restaurant because, you know, Tracy's saying next week, let's get to the bottom of this. Maybe they're going to go back to the restaurant, talk to that waiter, and Tucker's already going to have paid him off. That's great. Oh, how about this? Let's talk about Sharon. Ellen says, so, has the show really just erased Ray Rosales completely? Nick brings Sharon a nameplate for her desk that says Sharon Newman, CEO. Last I checked, her name was Sharon Rosales. This is so disrespectful to Ray's memory. I don't think women need to change their names upon marriage, but if they do, respect it. If you're widowed, I don't think you go back to your previous cheating husband's last name, whether it suits an upcoming storyline or not. I see you Y&R writers, and I think you are lazy, and I'm asking myself if you would have done this to a deceased white character. This is really not okay. Whoa, I didn't even notice it. It just went right over my head. The nameplate said Sharon Newman, you guys. That's nuts. You're right. There's no Ray. You know, and Ray would have been someone who would have been perfect to bring back for Sharon's memory episode, too. That is bunk. That is bunk. But you're right. It serves the upcoming storyline, and that's probably why they did it. Speaking of upcoming storylines, I asked you guys last week if you are liking the Adam and Sally reunion so far. 71% of you are feeling it. 29% not so much. Sharon W. says, yes, Adam and Sally, definitely feeling it. After all, we had to wait an entire year to get Nick out of the picture. Y&R, keep up the good work. But Sue W. says, I've been waffling around 50-50, but I'm finally deciding to vote no. I'm just not picking up the sparks and the sizzle they once had. Even their once so delicious banter seems forced now. Of course they're attracted to each other, and who wouldn't be? Yet I no longer see a twinkle in Sally's eye for him, nor the undeniable pull to her from Adam. I don't know. You can't go back, but I could be swayed if they reunite rock solid and become stronger than they were before. Yeah, maybe they need a challenge or something to overcome together, and that would solidify it. Jax says, I voted no because we waited too long. I would love, however, to see Adam and Audra together. Oh, Adam and Audra. Yes. Yes. I love that idea, Adam and Audra. That almost sounds like it could be a 2024 prediction material to me. That sounds like it could be a good 2024 prediction. Adam and Audra. And now on that note, let's talk about predictions. I feel like such a jerk for not putting up our, talking about our predictions before. So I'm doing it now. I have cracked open the 2023 predictions. Last year's predictions. The things that 1 year ago we thought were going to happen on the show in 2023. There was not a whole lot that came true, to be honest with you. I'll start with my own prediction. I predicted that in 2023, Chemo is alive and working with Tucker. I mean, that's obviously a great idea, past Allie. But no dies, no chemo. Once again, another year goes by, another no chemo happening. Mary Ann V predicted that Lily would end up with Daniel and Billy would end up with Chelsea. Now that's right. Sharon and Chance will get together, as well as Devon and Abby. Nate will try out being with Victoria for a while, and all these couples will have obstacles thrown their way, especially if Victor gets involved. Ashley may end up with Tucker for a while. Devon will find out that Tucker is after his company, and Elena will leave town for good. That's it. Yeah, pretty much all of that came true. Has Elena left town for good? I haven't seen anything official on that. I'd love to know that answer, though. Lynn4283 predicted that Abby would end up pregnant with Devon's child by the end of the year. I cannot believe that did not happen, or at the very least that Abby and Devon did not get married. Tina Cole predicted that Elena would get thrown into a love triangle with Abby and Devon as she and Nate are done, and he already has his hands full with Audra and Victoria. Yeah, the hands full part came true. Tina B says Victoria and Nate will start an affair that Elena will find out about. Victoria will become obsessed with Nate and continue to control him by holding his job over his head. Yeah, that did kind of seem like it was about the direction that it was all going to go. We did get the payoff of the affair getting found out, though. Samuel predicted that Sally and Adam would welcome a baby girl and decide to get married. I think we should move that one to the table for 2024. Victoria predicted that Chloe would be the one to switch Sally's paternity test results. Yeah, so Sally must have been pregnant right at the beginning of last year, and we were all predicting that Chloe would switch the paternity test. Can't believe she didn't. Sue W. predicted that Taraya has an adoption fall through at the last minute and decides then for one of them to carry a baby. Yeah, we were going through the adoption process and it really wasn't clear whether or not they were going to ever get baby Aria, but I think it's still possible that one of them could decide to carry a baby in the future. Marianne V predicted that Danny Romalotti would stick around long enough to cause trouble in Christine and Paul's marriage, even though we never see Paul. I predict that Doug will be back sometime soon as Paul. Yeah, I can't see Paul coming back. It just seems like it's been way too long. I think there'd have to be some changeover maybe in the behind the scenes crew, like maybe the executive team. Something would have to change behind the scenes to get him back. But Danny did not cause problems for them, but he certainly did benefit from the downfall of their marriage. Diana predicted that Allie, now that's Jack's niece, Allie's mother would be revealed as Mary Jo Mason, bringing her back onto the show. This causes friction between Jack and Diane as Mary Jo tries to win Jack's affections. Please, Y&R, recast Mary Jo. She was great. She was over the top soupy, just like Phyllis is. She would be a great vixen to have back. Where's Allie? Oh yeah, she's with Noah. Happily ever after in Europe. Okay. Gary predicted that despite a salacious criminal past, Jeremy Stark would quickly rise to the ingenuous city politics and become the mayor of the town as Jack and Diane beat a robbery rap and marry quietly before Thanksgiving Day in March. I think Jack and Diane did have kind of a Thanksgiving-y fall wedding, didn't they? Yeah. But I love the idea that Jeremy Stark ended up becoming Genoa City's mayor. Why didn't Y&R think of that? Well, that's it from 2023, and I have to tell you, I have not had very many predictions for 2024, and I must call you to action, chatters. We have got to get our predictions in for 2024. Please do not let me regret that I missed this. I will be kicking myself a year from now if we have very few predictions, and I know it's my fault because I didn't post it soon enough. So we cannot let this go. Let's let Samuel and Sharon W. lead the way because they have given us some predictions for 2024, which we will watch and see if it comes true. Samuel predicts that in 2024, Sheila Carter will return to Genoa City once she discovers her granddaughter Lucy is living there. This causes her to go after Heather, having her kidnapped, and Sheila then lures Daisy back to town to have presence in Lucy's life. I want this. I want this, Samuel. Please let this prediction come true. And Sharon W. predicts that Victoria and Cole will become romantic due to bonding over their newfound daughter, Claire. I think that seems very likely. But also, Victor will remain steadfast in support of Nikki, but he is frantic when Nikki is kidnapped again. Nikki is kidnapped by her sponsor, Seth, and they are joined with Aunt Jordan after a prison guard assists Seth with her escape. Adam works with Victor to search for Nikki, but Adam is solely responsible for her safe release back to the family. This will finally ensure Adam's coveted place in the Newman family. Oh, Sharon W., I love that. And I think, yeah, it's like Seth could be working with Aunt Jordan and could help her escape from prison. And then they both kidnap Nikki, and then Adam is the one to save her. And then Adam and Nikki start their affair. I added that last part. Oh, I'll also give you a couple of my predictions for 2024. I predict that Nate will somehow save Chancellor Winters from some kind of outside force or something. He'll save the day at Chancellor Winters, but he will have an affair with Abby. That would tick Tavon off. And I like that. I also predict that Olivia is going to be recast. I don't know why, but it feels like the stars are aligning for the Winters family, and I like that idea. And I also predict that Elena will be the one to end up finding herself in the middle of the Taraya love triangle. I don't think Elena is gone forever. I think she'll be back, and when she does come back, why not completely revamp the character? And she has a great relationship with Mariah and Tessa. Maybe she starts spending time with them and baby Arya, and one thing leads to another, and boom, we have another new triangle. If you want to see the rest of my predictions, the rest of Samuel's predictions, the rest of Sharon W.'s predictions, leave your own predictions, you can go to yrchat.com. I've got it posted there right at the front where you absolutely cannot miss it. Please, 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 if you do anything this week, just leave me one. It doesn't have to be a bunch of them. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Get out those crystal balls. Look into the future of the next 12 months and tell me what is going to happen on Y&R in 2024. Well, I cannot wrap up this Y&R chat without saying a very special happy birthday to my friend Ellen. Happy birthday this upcoming Saturday. I'm so happy for you. I hope you have an awesome, special day. I know you had a rough couple of weeks a little while back. You were out without power and such, and my goodness, I hope that is all going much better for you now. And I hope that you have a lovely birthday planned. Let me know what you and Adam are going to be doing. Where's he taking you? What gifts is he showering you with? Happy birthday, Ellen. And, gosh, I hope everybody has a very happy week ahead. Go to yrchat.com, leave your comments, leave your predictions, say hi, and I will be back next Sunday to say hi to all of you again. I love you. Have a good one. Bye.